Hey gang, I'm John P. I'm the founder of Texas Metalworks, and you know, we've been selling our big fabrication tables here for years, and we have a little often overlooked feature on the welding tables that we call super slots. A lot of people don't even realize are there, and they're these little vertical slots here that we put every few inches. And the reason we do that is so that you can have a little bin. And you know, if I want to work on the table here, I can stick the bin in, I can do what I'm going to do, and then I can pick it up and move over here and drop it in the side and keep going. Well, eventually these are great, and we use them all the time, but you also need a place to store these because, you know, it makes sense that if I'm going to have tools or nuts or bolts or whatever, I need to be able to put them someplace. So we also make these little panels for the end of the tables that go in between our legs. So we can put these here. We can have, you can imagine an assortment of different nuts and bolts or whatever, and that's great. But sometimes you need even more organization than that. So we do also offer these entire wall units. It's a bunch of panels that we make, and we just call them super slot panels. Now, they drop in individually, and the idea here is to have a whole ecosystem of organizational tools. And so I'm going to show you what's going on in our little lab, okay? These are all things that are actively in development and coming very soon. Technically, you can already go on the website and you can buy the panels. And just so that you know how committed we are to this, at home, I've already lined 100% of the walls in my garage with these panels. So I, just like everyone else, am waiting on all of these things I'm about to show you to come to fruition. And they're all really close, okay? But I wanted to share this proactively so that I could get your comments. Honestly, this isn't one of those situations where I'm asking you to leave comments because people just try to get comments. No, I want to know, after you see this, what would you do with this? What kind of tools do you need? Because we're actively in development of these tools. And so I'm going to give you a little overview of some stuff. So first of all, you've already seen the little bins, and we've been making these in a manner that they can all be flat cut and welded together. So we can sell these as little DIY kits that you assemble yourself, or we can pre-assemble them, which we do right now, and we sell them just like this. And these are great because they're made of steel. They're really ridiculously overbuilt. And we're going to have a new variant of this that, instead of just being welded, gets bent into place and then tacked. So there's a whole line of steel bins in various sizes. Now, on top of that, some people have these plastic bins. These are really popular, right? These acro bins, or their knockoffs. This is a pretty big one, but any size will fit on this special little adapter plate that we've made. This plate, it's obviously just raw steel right now. These would be nicely powder coated. But this plate is designed to do a lot of different things. First of all, you can see that the lip of this thing will hook right onto that. So different sizes will still work with it. And you can put them side by side to span across them if you want, with no problem. But also notice there's some little holes in it. That's because you may have something else that you want to hang on the wall that is not, you know, doesn't have our little hooks to hang. Well, this serves as an adapter for whatever that is. You can screw it into there. You can use these little slots to strap things to it or whatever. So this is a really versatile adapter, we think. So that's one type of bin that we might be able to use. And these, you know, you can just buy off Amazon or at Harbor Freight or wherever. Now, we've got the metal bins, we've got these bins, but if you look over here, we've got another type of bin altogether. This is literally a 3D printed bin. So the idea here is this. As I was saying, I have no idea what all you might want to do with this. We've had buddies come through and they see it and they're like, oh, I want it for my gun wall. They want gun holders and hooks and things. I'm thinking about organizing my garage. You know, some people even mentioned this looks good. It would be nice in a kitchen, you know? So the question is, what kind of things could we make that can be 3D printed? And the concept here is that we're going to build an entire library, a whole bunch of models that can be 3D printed, and we're going to make them available for free. We're going to open source the library. I want you to be able to go to the website and just get whatever you want and download it and print it yourself. Now, for those of you who don't have a 3D printer, well, that's another bridge we got to cross. So we may be able to offer the fully 3D printed parts for sale, or if it's going to be something popular like one of these bins, we might have them injection molded so that they kind of get made in the same way as this, but instead of having to use adapters and things, it's got our little hooks to go in the wall. So 3 different types of bins at least. We're finishing up. This is going to get another revision, but this is one of the standard kind of power tool holders that I'm sure you've probably seen in other places. You'll be able to put your power tools hanging here. It will have a little shelf in the middle. You could put like your battery charger on the top if you wanted or something like that. And we also made sure and put super slots on the panel, on the side panel here. So that way, let's say right here, it might not be as useful. If we put a bin or something here, then that's not so useful. But let's say we had this hanging on the end. Then we can have things hanging from the side of it. And you could use a hook. Of course, we got all these different hooks here. You've got large, medium, small, etc. But on top of that, if we go right up the wall, you're gonna see, let's not forget, anything magnetic will also stick to everything here. The tools, the panels, the sides of these, etc. So we might as well use the tools that are already out there and available to be purchased commercially, you know, in conjunction with what we already have. Blend everything together, get the best of all of it. So the idea for me is always get everything off the floor, get it organized, etc. So then we're also going to have cabinets and shelf systems. Now here's the most, as far as I'm concerned, the coolest thing about all of this, because otherwise we're talking about kind of a sexy pegboard wall. But this is where things get really different, okay? Come down here on the end. The way these panels get hung on the wall is super simple. I'm gonna pull this up and pull it away, and you'll notice there are some little hooks at the top and some little kind of foot hook things at the bottom. And what we do is we laser cut this tubing. This is pretty dirty right here, yuck. But we laser cut the tubing with slots and holes for the top and bottom, so that this gets mounted and this gets anchored to your studs in the wall. This is what provides all the strength. And once you've got these two pieces in place to hang your panels, you simply just bring it up there and drop it in and you're done. But in the same way you hang the panels, you also will hang the cabinets and the shelves. So what does that mean? Well, I stuck this cabinet right here, but you know, when we stand back a little bit, it's not balanced. There's 3 panels here, there's 4 panels here. I don't like it. If I want to move this, no problem. I will just yank these 3 panels, pick this up with some help, put it over here, drop it in, move the panels here, done. So it provides for infinite interchangeability around your area if you have enough space for hanging the panels and the cabinets and the shelves. And I think for me, I like it because once the tubing is all hung, you're done. I mean, you don't have to go and individually hang all kinds of things. And I find that it's also much easier to level up a whole wall full of stuff if you got a long straight run and you're not trying to hang one thing here and then another thing here. It's just too hard to level it up. So to hang this, you just literally run the tubing along there, anchor it, and you're done. So that's just a quick overview of what's coming. And I'm really looking for feedback here, all kinds of ideas. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention, on the cabinets, there will be a shelf in the middle. So we've got one right here, and we'll have adjustability on the shelf. So we'll just use these little standard kind of shelf clips that you've seen with IKEA furniture or whatever. You put it in at the height you want, you drop the shelf on it. We have super slots in the back here, So if we wanted to put some stuff in here and still have some bins and things, that's great. And the doors themselves will also have some super slots on them as well. So you can hang things here, you can put things inside, organize it, etc. So again, ideas would be really helpful. Anything that you can think of that we can add to this to make it better or improve it in any way, now is the time, because all of this is coming and it's coming really quick. So thanks for checking out the lab with me, folks, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.